So on this episode of the Nerdly Out Loud podcast, Halloween Bite Size, in conjunction with 20th Digital Studios, who have been making these sort of short micro movies of jump scares, horror scares, and everything like that. So they got in touch with me and they asked me if I would like to help promote some of the British guys, since that's what we like to do. And as soon as this name came up, this is one that I was absolutely going to take on. I have got John McPhail here to talk about his short, Special Delivery. How are you today, John? You okay, yeah?
I know, I'm good. Thanks very much, dude, and thanks for having me on.
Glasgow-born John McPhail studied cinematography before moving into film, TV, and commercials. After great success with short movies Notes and Just Say Hi, John then moved into his first feature, which was a micro-budget rom-com, Where Do We Go From Here?, which premiered at Glasgow Film Festival, which is no mean feat, by the way, won a couple of awards, and was even nominated for a BAFTA, which is awesome. So then came Anna and the Apocalypse, which, you know, I think everybody's seen. It's basically become an instant cult favorite. It's a fantastic little movie, smash horror sort of musical that won countless awards again and earned another BAFTA nomination. So tonight, obviously, we're here to talk about Special Delivery a little bit, but we're going to get into a little bit about how this man came to be. And yeah, this is fantastic. I've been waiting for this one, my friend. This is I'm so glad to have you on.
No, thanks very much, dude. And as I said, that's really kind, and what a nice introduction as well. I'm blushing.
I like to do that.
Brought some colour to my pale skin.
No, this is cool, man. And Glasgow Film Fest, man. That's a big festival over here, and it's good to see that you were in there, and obviously being a Glasgow native.
Oh, like Glasgow Film Festival have been like the best to me. I went to the opening ceremony, and they even like mentioned us in way like next to like Hail Caesar. Do you know what I mean? And it's like to even sort of get like a wee introduction. And the thing about it is I love the GFT, the Glasgow Film Theatre. I go there and see usually every Halloween they always put on like a classic like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or like, you know, that you're watching like Halloween and 35mm or just something like that, or like a musical sing along, or it's like South Park. Like, it's the place I go to see all my like the films, and it's, as I say, it's quite special. So like to have like our UK premiere there was amazing, and Alison and Alan have just been like so kind to me like ever since as well. And you know, it's, as I say, it's like my home from home almost. So I'm really gutted for like a lot of the cinemas, and particularly them at the moment, you know, with the current crisis. But as you say, it's no mean feat, so it was a total dream. And then like to sort of like it was funny that the producers of Anna and the Apocalypse were in the screening that night, and that was where they got like the idea to bring me in, see if I would be the right fit for that film. So it was really, really special, and as I say, I kind of owe a lot to them for it.
Awesome. Well, I like to ask the question that most puts you on the back foot, and ask you how you got into the industry and why the hell you would do it.
So I'd been getting into the industry was like I worked on an indie film called Up There. It was originally called Laid Off. It was directed by Zam Salim, and I was a camera trainee on that, and that was like, you know, like my first sort of steps into the industry after university and stuff. I worked in a lot of sport and things like that, so you know, but to get into the directing side was I was working on a TV series called Waterloo Road, and I was a camera assistant, and I really like I loved the people I was working with, you know, and I really enjoyed working on the show. I just wasn't enjoying my job anymore as this techie, and I'd always been shooting like comedy sketches and like, you know, things with my pals, and I just kind of like I'd been wanting to do something. So I was living in this flat with this guy who I never met for like 3 months. He used to work night shift in a factory, and I used to work, you know, 12, 13-hour days. And at the weekends or like my day off, I just go up to my folks like to get away from it, because I was living, and it was like student accommodation. It was horrible, right? It was cheap. And And I used to leave him like post-it notes about the flat. So I was like, "Hi, yeah, I'm John. I'm your flatmate. There's this beer in the fridge. Like, wire in." And he used to write me notes back, like, "Hiya, John. You know, there's stiffies in the freezer." And I'm like, "Stiffies? What's stiffies? Like, what?" I just thought, like, oh, this would be how sweet would this be if it was like a budding romance about a guy and a lassie that lived together and sort of like communicated and flirted through post-it notes. And I wrote this little short film called Notes, and we had a 3-week downtime on Waterloo Road because one of the actors had taken not well, so like we all had to like stop production, and we had this 3-week window, and I went, I'm gonna shoot this short. And I got my mates together and we shot it over a weekend. Nice. And it's funny, I'm just talking about this just on Twitter. It went to its first film festival called the Bootleg Film Festival in Edinburgh, and it was like March 2013. And I went to a panel talk, and on it was a guy called Tom Wilton, Maria McIndoe, Greg Hall, and Rob Savage. Rob Savage has just done Strings, which is his first feature, and it was them talking about making a career out of being a filmmaking. And I walked out of that panel, right, I swear to you, and I went, I'm going to become a director. I'm going to make 3 short films, all in the vein of comedy, all playing in the sort of like that sphere, and sort of going, like, you know, I wanted to do a dark comedy, a off-the-wall buddy movie, and sort of, just as I say, each short getting bigger and bigger, you know, more locations, more cast, and just sort of just trying to, you know, work all that out to sort of like get myself up to see if I could make that first feature. And that was it. Made some short films, made a feature, we got out of Glasgow Film Festival, got a job after back, done. Bob's your uncle.
If only it was that easy for everyone, eh? I mean, I'm not saying it was easy, but if only... No,
I am just going, it wasn't easy, but you know what I mean, like, it's, you know, it's just weird how it all kind of happened, and I said, like, that's what it was. And as I said, I was just talking to Greg just there about this. It's just so funny.
As I've said to you already, I was a big fan of Anna and the Apocalypse, so there's no way I'm not going to talk about this film with you while I've got you on the chat. Where the hell did this come from? A zombie apocalyptic musical? What is going on? How did you come up with Anna and the Apocalypse?
Well, to be fair, like, it was the brainchild of a guy called Ryan McHenry. Ryan made Ryan's end of university film was called Zombie Musical. And he got his mate Nathan Alakaru to produce it for him, they put it. They got nominated for and won a New Talent BAFTA, it was it got picked up to get developed into a feature film. That was in 2012. No, it was even earlier than that, like 2009 or 2009. It was something weird like that. It started to get developed, and Alan McDonald come on to write it with Ryan. And Ryan's whole idea was, like, he was watching High School Musical and was like, it would be amazing if like zombies turned up in Zac Efron. So like, that was the initial concept, and then they started to develop this film, this zombie musical, and it was actually a summer piece, like a sort of like graduation piece. And then Ryan had again come in and went, no, it needs to be set at Christmas. It's got to be at Christmas. And then, unfortunately, Ryan was diagnosed with a rare form of bone cancer called osteosarcoma. Excuse me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. But he unfortunately passed away in 2015. And just before he passed, Nathan had asked him, like, what do you want to do about the film, dude? And, you know, he was like, we should go and make it, you know, like, so Alan carried on the writing. Roddy and Tommy had come on board to do the music by that point. And then the Bat Boys were out to go and look for a director. And that's, as I said, where they saw, they'd been looking at horror directors and musical directors and just hadn't found the right fit. And then they saw, where do we go from here at Glasgow Film Festival? So that was kind of like how I came on board. It really brought like a camaraderie to the film. Like, it also kind of like they kind of brought a lot of the themes of the film, which was like, like the it's about teenagers dealing with death. Yeah. It's like, it's and all these sort of like young guys were sort of like going through that at the same time. They'd all lost like a really close and best friend. So it really shone through, I think. And I think that, as I say, that the heart really all sort of like comes out of there, and it comes out of a lot of the people that worked on it. And as I say, it's sort of taking form for this guy's legacy. Oh, and the other thing is Ryan was internet famous for the Ryan Gosling won't eat his cereal.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Remember like the 6-second videos?
I loved those. They were class.
That was Ryan. He did those.
So obviously, like you say, a real camaraderie was built and everything when you were making that movie, and you guys all came together. Did you know at the time, or did you have a feeling while you were making it that it was going to kind of blow up the way it did?
No, not at all, man. No, like we, when we were making it, it was like, it was a lot of fun, and we knew that there was like a lot of heart and like love in it. Like, but that way where you just never know, like how anybody's going to take it. We thought it was funny, we thought it was sweet, and we love those parts. But again, that's us. So when we went to Fantastic Fest and the way it blew up there, like we still laugh about it to this day. And like there's like stuff where like it was so funny. Like we went to New York Comic Con. Like my dream was to go to New York Comic Con just as a punter, like just turning up. But to like have a panel there, and then the cast sang at a festival, and like what's the big park in? I can't remember, in New York. What's it called?
Oh, Central Park.
Central Park. Now they've done like this big this concert there. So even that was like, as I say, and we met Ben Stiller. Like, do you know what I mean? It was like really weird stuff happened. That every now and then, like somebody will text. Remember that time? You're like, so it was that's awesome. It was some ride, and again to do it all with everybody, as I say, like as I say, we came through it, and as a cast. And a team, like we're all so close, and we were all so close, and it just brought us all really close together. So, it was a really good experience.
I personally think that you should be giving this another big push this year, because it's kind of turned into the perfect 2020 Christmas movie.
We predicted the toilet roll.
That's the thing. Like, I was just kind of like thinking about it the other day, and I was like, you know what? That movie kind of is the perfect 2020 Christmas movie now, given the how it starts with sort of a virus and then becomes zombies, and just a fantastic musical as well. Some great numbers in there. So, but yeah, that's Anna and the Apocalypse. I had to talk about that for a second.
No, man, of course, man. Well, thanks very much for asking about it.
This project you did with 20th Digital Studios, your short movie was Special Delivery. Again, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's only 2 to 3 minutes long. Very, very great little short. 100%. You can see the Anna and the Apocalypse vibe going on, like that cheeky little vibe going. How did you get involved in this program? Was it a case of the guys knew of you, so they came and asked you, or was it you pitched for it? So
Jack Tarling came to me. Me and Jack had been looking for like a film to do for a wee while now, like together. And we've been sort of like developing a couple of things back and forward. And, he just sort of like sent me an email going, fancy doing like one of these 20th century. And I was like, why not? So he sent me like a couple of scripts. I wrote a musical one with my mate. Like, nice. But I think a lot with you could never have done it with the COVID stuff. But so we pitched like a whole bunch of these sort of like shorts. They picked Special Delivery as the one that they wanted to do, and I was pretty delighted about it. Like, cause I hadn't known Luis either, so it was really nice to work with him. I really enjoyed the script, and as I said, it was nice to sort of start. It was just nice to play with something even sort of small, and something so small, and be able to get out of the house.
What was that like, shooting with COVID restrictions?
We shot it September 17th, and we done it, but it was a night shoot. So like, right. I wanted it to be at night anyway. So that was the only option, and as well as that, because of the sort of the late nights were starting to creep in as well. So it meant we had a wee bit of extra leeway either side. But it was no bother at all. Like with the restrictions, we had the 20th Century and Disney team had sent over they'd queued up like a COVID team over there called Gate Check, and they contacted people over here to then sort of like work on the production for the COVID safety. So like we had a COVID supervisor who came on and pretty much was just like he was calling it his flappy fish, where he waved his hand about like back and forward to like keep your distance. But we all get tested, and those that didn't get tested were in two different groups. And so if I had to go and interact with anybody that hadn't been tested, I had to wear like a shield thing on my face. But it's also things like if you've got an operator and a focus puller, they're both breathing the same way. If that makes sense. Like it's not as if they're breathing on each other. They're like so there was a lot of like, as I said, sort of like it's using your common sense, but at the same time just making sure that everybody's safe. I'm a bit of a health and safety nut anyway, so it was, and as I said, it was pretty reassuring just to have somebody. But like that side of it was no bother really. And then it was the worst part was the 3 unit moves. I mean, you're trying to drive about Glasgow, trying to get from one place to the other. But no, as I said, with the restrictions, no bother. You've seen Emmerdale? Like
Emmerdale.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, right? But watch Emmerdale, right? So my girlfriend's mum, she watches Emmerdale, and so every now and then I'll be sitting there and I'll be like, oh, and just watch the social distancing from them and all that, and like where they are. Like it's hilarious, like about the place where they try to sort of like fill the screen, or they're having dinner outside. Like it's just bizarre, right? It's just the bizarrest thing. It's because they're still shooting and try to turn over and keep this like it's brilliant. I enjoy it for that.
I did see a little clip of it the other day. It was on morning TV or something like that, and they showed a little clip, and somebody walked into the local shop or the cafe with a mask on, and I was like, that is just weird. Like to make that part of this soap is just weird.
I know it's but as I said, just how they're trying to shoot normal scenes between people who should be who are supposed to be in a bubble together, but they aren't. So it's like they still have to keep them at distance, but I can't put masks on them. Like
I'll have to watch out for that.
Right.
So it's with Anna and the Apocalypse, it is quite. It's not family friendly, but a younger audience can watch it. But how did you feel jumping in on this bite size, and it's kind of got to be for everyone? Like, were you able to adapt easily enough to that?
Well, we never had any sort of like blood or like swearing or anything like that. So it was, in that side, I thought, with the monster, we wanted it to look cutesy anyway, and like, to be a bit, weird. So it was like a Dumbo octopus crossed with the egg from Alien meets Blinky from The Simpsons, like the 3-eyed thing. So it was like that kind of thing all sort of melded together, which we thought would look cute and odd and a bit weird and disgusting a little bit more than anything. So the family friendly stuff was, it was never in my intention. It was always to just kind of make it a bit of fun. Tommy and Roddy, who did the music for Anna and the Apocalypse, they did the music for this.
Nice.
They've been working really hard. They've been doing the music for Animaniacs as well. They've been working over there with a team like that. So they've been really, really busy, and it was brilliant to have them just jump on board and put together some synths for me. Like I had the John Carpenter, like the Dukes theme from Escape from New York as like the temp track for ages. So they knew what I wanted and just sort of threw that together, and it was perfect. So I was, as I said, the family friendly vibe was no bother. It was just, as I said, wanting to make it cool and sort of like nice and colourful as well, but a little bit weird. So I wanted to lean towards those traffic light colours a lot. So there's a lot of like greens and ambers and reds. Just to sort of play with that vibe and that kind of like, sort of alien vibe. And you know, with the Gremlins being green as well, I love Gremlins, and I love that, you know, just being able to play with that kind of thing at the start. And Society as well. Luis is a big fan of Society and those kind of movies. So yeah.
One of the goals, or one of the kind of the hopefulness, is that a word? One of the hopes for these bite-sized shorts is that they also serve as a little bit of a proof of concept. Now, obviously, it's only like 2 to 3 minutes long or anything like that. Do you see a way that you could expand on special delivery and make it into something bigger, or is it just kind of this short?
I think Luis would love to sort of like expand it as well. Like, I think that we would, the three of us are like completely open to doing it. That was one of the reasons why we wanted to do it, and having a sort of like weird society where, like, you know, that's you know, eating people through these little alien things is like I said, it's good fun. And one of the reasons why I added in, it's like there's a line right at the end. It's throwaway. It's nothing. Which is like, she's like, you'll have to take part in Glarflar and fight your dad to the death for it. And it's like, well, you know, Glarflar like is like some sort of alien, or you know, clearly some alien word. So like, you know, it would be nice to sort of delve deeper into that, and like, you know, like a really fucked up Coneheads or something like that, you know.
What's next for yourself? What are you looking to do now? When things kind of go back to, you know, whatever normal is going to be on the other side of this, what are you going to be looking for? More shorts, or are you running and gunning for some more features? Are we possibly going to get an Anna 2, or what are you thinking about?
Well, you know, there's so I sold a film to Amazon Studios in January
Nice.
with Free Association, which is Channing Tatum's production company, and Scooter Braun's company. It's been written by Sarah Jane Inwards, who is amazing. She's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And it's like a Lady Macbeth, it's YA inspired, like jukebox musical, and that's yeah. So that's being written just now. She's doing that. We sort of developed that over the last year and a half. So it's been really, really good fun. And as I said, it's been great that the Amazon Studios have come on board and, you know, picked it up. So I'm expecting, as I say, phone calls from her during this draft just now, actually. So just been working on that. Me and Nathan Ali Carew, the producer from Anime Apocalypse, we just always want to work together. We love working together. We've got like a whole bunch of stuff in the pipeline. One, I've got a series that's that Roddy and Tommy are involved in as well that we're working on, and we've got me and Nathan. I've got a film that we've got, a comedy we've been working on for a while now. We're just taking out around the town, in the States. So yeah. We're casting on that one as well just now. So it's busy. It's been exciting. It's good, and there's, as I say, loads of stuff sort of on the horizon.
One last question that I do like to ask, or I would like to ask, is how exactly, or what exactly would be your one bit of advice to anybody wanting to be a filmmaker and get into this industry?
First of all, go out and shoot everything. Just go and meet up with your pals, write silly sketches, even if they're never really going to go anywhere. I'm just going to see them. But you need to make stuff to like learn from your mistakes. You need to learn, you learn what kind of like storyteller you are. You have to tell stories, if that makes sense. So make shorts, like just they don't have to cost a lot of money, and it's just all about finding those stories, finding like-minded people who you like working with, and you only do that by making stuff. So it's imperative that you as I say, get out, go along to film festivals, get talking to people. I know we're all introverts at times and stuff, and we're all a bit shy and we're scared people say no, but and as humans we hate rejection, but that's you're never going to be able to push yourself out there if you don't try. So it's like, go out, talk to people, meet people that, as I say, that are like-minded, and just go and make stuff. Nobody has to see it if you make a shite short film. Nobody, show it to your mum, show it to your gran, they'll tell you it's amazing and they'll love it. But just learn from your mistakes. Pat yourself on the back when you've done something good, and just keep making stuff.
Thank you again for coming on and doing this. I've absolutely enjoyed speaking to you. Like I say, Anna's one of those movies that kind of just took me by surprise. I had no idea it was a musical when I went into it. which even more surprised me. But I love the movie, and I can't wait to see what you do next. And Special Delivery as a short scare movie, people should check it out. I really do think that. And honestly, this has been fantastic. Thank you for coming on.
No, thanks very much, dude. I really appreciate it, and thanks again for plugging the film.
Do not open the box.
Ellie, it's getting quite lonely out here.
Smile. Hello?
Don't worry, whatever happens, we got your back.